Hey, I just called. You should have my Zero 13 up. I just got word from Paul. Yeah, I saw word from Paul that we might have potential sound coming down shortly, so if you could roll, I appreciate it. You can roll too. All right, thanks. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. So who else? Okay, I'll throw.
Hey, one of
I don't know if you guys are. I'll throw my light on. I don't know if you want. Did you
Mine's pretty close.
Okay. Did you get? I got like a 39-ish. So.
I'm at 4.
Okay. Yeah. So if you fill it in and I do it, I think that's probably plenty. Great. We're on the same page.
All right, good. Just for your own edification, Mara. Podium sound will be in channel 2. Turco will be in channel 1. Can you let? Can you Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. It's like, right, because we would. Right. I'll reach out to Ashley.
I'm having additional roll
To see a recall
on camera.
No. Please see a recall. Podium will be on channel 2. Turco will be on channel 1. Okay. Well, the control room needs to know that in the event that Turco says, okay, now we throw it to the press conference live, the audio from the press conference will be on channel 1 in the control room needs to know that. Okay, great. Okay, good.
Where's John?
Nothing?
Your stuff's in the car.
Not right.
You did, okay. So let's see if we can then send it, and then we'll just go stand outside. Okay. Your keys though, well, when we're done, I'm gonna need it.
Hey, Bob.
We'll just go back down there. Yeah.
Can you grab that big whiteboard and hold it up right about here to block the sun going in the window?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. I didn't know.
Yeah, so that's
Okay.
great. You just put it and send it, and then you just step outside.
Okay.
Please come down here in just a minute. Troy. No questions, just he said so. Troy's gonna be saying no questions.
Yes.
Then you can wait with you.
Yeah, no.
Get you set up. And then it's not really the power, just I'll meet you right back there. Okay.
No problem. And again, on the day is, if you have that, okay, not.
So, Sharon, get you seen it. Maybe what today was good, slow,
Or you can nudge me, I'll be stunned.
get a chance to slow it down.
Okay.
Got this thing up there.
So just make sure, just make sure all the CGs are right with the general banner, Troy, and the general banner.
No, I don't have any.
I mean, I thought it could be a week or so. Judge says he's making a ruling tomorrow. Is it,
Yes.
what's your gut feeling?
I'm an old school lawyer, and I appreciate the request, but I never make predictions about anything. I don't predict whether the sun's going to come up in the morning. So,
Can you clarify for us? It seems
Sure.
like there was kind of a lot changing at once after recess. Did the judge ultimately decide that the only evidence that would be submitted was what was heard in court with the text messages and the phone calls?
yes.
And it was the court's witness who said Catherine is not competent.
That's correct. Dr. Johnson, just so the process is clear, when the issue of competency comes up, and I need to be clear about that, there was some discussion today, some argument today, that this is somehow an issue that Catherine has put forward. That's not how it works. If someone is not competent, or if there is a suspicion that someone is not competent, and it could be by any actor in the case, it could be by the judge, the defense attorney, or the state's attorney, believe it or not, then it goes into this sort of statutory creation of evaluation and the looking at the records and things like that, that's gone on here for 11 years. Because once somebody is presumptively incompetent, they are not able to make a strategic decision. That's the essence of the whole problem, right? So Catherine has been found for the last 10 years, 11 years, to not be in a position to make those strategic decisions. She didn't plan this. This isn't her plan. This is an issue about fundamental fairness and whether or not somebody in her condition can adequately and reasonably defend herself as defined by the statute and defined by the case law. The doctor, who is part of the state complex in the sense that she is the one that does the evaluation pursuant to statute, said that she's not competent. Now, the state hired somebody else. It's kind of interesting because in most cases, I'm not going to say all cases, but in most cases, it's the other way. In other words, the statutory doctor, the court's doctor, says the person is competent, and then a defendant or defense attorney, really, who believes that the person is competent or incompetent, will hire an expert to contest that. This is, as everybody has said, a very unusual case.
David, can you clarify? I don't know if this was Bob's question. Did Dr. Johnson actually come up with an opinion on her own that she's incompetent?
Absolutely.
That is her opinion. Okay.
Absolutely. I'm a little concerned that maybe that's a question. There's no doubt. I mean, we didn't even know until the report was generated, or certainly we didn't. The defense didn't know. I didn't know that Dr. Johnson existed. In other words, she is assigned, through the process at Perkins. She's her own doctor. She's the Perkins doctor. I mean, she's not our doctor. So,
I missed that. I didn't.
yeah, no, and she came up with an opinion in September. The interview was in August. Then I don't know when she reviewed it, or did she review the things both times, but the report was written in September, and it was based on that report. The state was challenging the finding, and that's how we ended up here.
And it's up your thinking that in, the 3 months from when Dr. Johnson spoke with her and then when Dr. Tillotson spoke after, you don't think her state of mind would have changed to the point of becoming...
Well, I appreciate the question. It's not up to me to decide that, but I will tell you, if you remember, Dr. Johnson testified that she saw her last week. So, and her opinion had not changed. She believed that Catherine actually, I think she said that Catherine was a little worse. She talked about some specific things, I think relating to her mood more specifically, but that there were still this evidence that she believes is the basis of her opinion that Catherine was not competent. So she saw her in August, and then she saw her again in December.
Can you
conversations. You know, some doctors didn't get access to certain documents. Oh, this conversation, this is when you were talking about. Well, can you kind of talk about everything that's transpired? Who's got access to what?
Yeah, I can try. The state, when they hired their witness, gave her text messages and phone calls and videotapes and things like that. The state's attorney represented that they gave all of these things to her. I believe the state's attorney when they say that. Those documents were not given to Dr. Johnson. We didn't know that Dr. Tellefson, the state's expert, reviewed those things until we got her report last week. So we've been dealing with that only since last week. Now, the interesting part of this, and is completely consistent with the law, is that an expert can listen to the opinion of another expert in determining sort of what their opinion is. And in this case, Dr. Johnson was asked by the court to remain in the courtroom and to listen to Dr. Tellefson's testimony and to see if that, and in this case there would be discussion of the things that she didn't have to consider, would that change her opinion? And Dr. Johnson said no, and she gave some specific reasons why that was the case. But that's procedurally how it worked.
Thanks, David.
Sure.
Appreciate it.
Okay. Have a good day, everybody.
Thank you.
I'm gonna ask you guys to forgive me. I'm gonna do something I normally don't do, which is actually read a prepared statement, because I don't want to take a bunch of questions until tomorrow after we know what happened, kind of thing. I'm more hopeful today than I have been throughout this process. The former director of Clifton T. Perkins Hospital Center says the woman accused of murdering my babies is competent to stand trial. So we're very hopeful the court will listen to her expert opinion and we can finally get justice for my kids. Honestly, I'm a little bit frustrated. Some of you kind of covered this hearing yesterday as if this was a close comparison between the two doctors. It was made very clear in the hearing that the doctor from Perkins only spent a little bit of time with Catherine and cut and pasted the prior reports. The other doctor, Dr. Tellefson, who she actually ran Perkins when Perkins was accredited, which they've lost their accreditation, as you all know. She spent a lot more time with Catherine, reviewed thousands of jailhouse text messages, listened to hundreds of jailhouse phone calls, and watched hours of interviews between Catherine, the police, and the FBI. Dr. Tellefson was far more persuasive than the doctor from Perkins. They weren't even in the same universe, and I hope you tell the public that you saw exactly kind of what we saw up there, and I'm hopeful the court does the right thing tomorrow, and then we'll be going to trial soon. That's kind of the gist of it. I'm just hoping that the that the judge does the right thing. I think that the information is there. I think the evidence is there, and we'll just go from there with it. I want to thank you guys for understanding today, and I appreciate all of you who've been here from day one. Thank you.
So, my name is Lindsay Hoggle, and I'm Catherine Hoggle's mother. Do you want me to do that again? My name is Lindsay Hoggle, and I'm Catherine Hoggle's mother. What I'm saying today is my opinion, not that of her or anyone else, is first of all, 11 years is too long for us to stay in this mode. I think Troy and Stephanie and everybody involved, your life is never the same. And so we're ready for some answers. I thought these 2 days presented a lot of evidence on what happened in the past as far as incompetent to stand trial and how they arrived at their decisions then, and then Dr. Tellefson's decision of today. I didn't hear it, but I wanted to point out that after the charges were dropped, Catherine was able to receive therapy, cognitive behavioral therapy, and other things that were not available to her the first 8 years. So I think that helped a lot, luckily. The other part of this, too, is there's been a lot said about Stephanie and Catherine. Actually, 3.5 years ago, Stephanie and Troy and I met, and we agreed to proceed on trying to get to the answer and put all judgment and hard feelings aside. At the time, that seemed ambitious. I can say that I've been pleasantly surprised, and with the exceptions of a bump or a bruise here or there, we continue to work and compare notes because obviously we still don't know the answer. Stephanie and I do most of the text and conversations back and forth, and in no way has she ever been there just to find Sarah and Jacob. She's helped Catherine in many other ways, and so I think that I understand that in today's world, people don't think that kind of collaborative relationship can exist, but it does, and I'm fortunate for that. We all want answers for my oldest grandson, if nothing else. And so thank you for coming. The other thing I wanted to point out is Catherine was at the jail for 96 days. So if she had even 50 texts a day, probably more than that, sitting in a 9 by 12 foot cell with nothing to do, it's to me, that's not uncommon. So again, thank you. And I just appreciate your listening to my perspective on it.
So the relationship between Stephanie and Catherine, all that.
Montgomery County Judge James Donovan says he'll announce his decision at 1:30 tomorrow afternoon. The state appointed psychiatrist says that she believes that Catherine Hogel is still not competent to stand trial, that she's still psychotic, delusional, and dangerous. But the psychiatrist hired by Montgomery County State's Attorney's Office told the judge that she believes Hogel is competent to stand trial. Dr. Christiane Ellefson, who's first. Dr. Christiane Ellefson